Alrighty, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the next day of our career exploration workshop. Today's career focus is education, and today I have a special guest with me, and I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Anastasia Delgado. I teach 8th grade English in KCK at Eisenhower Middle School.
Thank you so much, Ms. Delgado, for being with us today to talk a little bit more about your career as a teacher. So I just have a few questions that I'm going to go through, and then for students, if you have questions, definitely make sure you're writing them down and send them to your advisor, and I'll happily get that information passed on to you. So first up, where did you attend college?
I went to K-State for my undergrad, and I majored in English, and I'm now getting my master's in teaching at Pitt State.
Wonderful. So did you know when you were an English major at K-State that you wanted to go into teaching?
I had no idea what I wanted to do. So I went into the English track just thinking I wanted to study English. I had no idea I wanted to be a teacher until after I graduated, actually. I was actually a college advisor with Kansas State College advising a corps for 1 year. And that's when I realized I really liked working with kids, and I decided to head down the teaching track.
Wonderful. We always love to have fellow advisors back. So can you just tell us, what is your favorite part of teaching?
The kids. I teach middle schoolers, and they are the best part of it. They are hilarious. They are at this point in their life where they are really, they try to pretend like they're not willing to buy into the crazy things that you're doing, but they really are. And they have this need to please. So they will try and be your friend and use the work as an excuse to do that. But they're just at this fun stage in their life where they'll try just about anything.
Well, that is great. So I know teaching is not all fun and roses. So can you kind of share what is the difficult part of teaching?
The difficult part is those days when middle schoolers are being middle schoolers. I think we all can relate to being in 8th grade, about 13, 14 years old, and the woes that come with that. So those are those tough days when they come in and they are just 13-year-olds. And you want to be like, grow up, but they are acting just the way that they should be. And I think some of the other difficult part is when you don't feel like you've tried a lot and it doesn't work for all the kids. So you have to go back to the drawing board again and figure out what is it that I can do to hit this kid with the information I need them to get, while also making it fun for them and not stressing them out more than they probably already are.
Alrighty, so what is some advice that you would give for high school students that are interested in going into teaching?
So the advice that I would give high school kids would be to take any opportunity that you can to shadow. Teaching is not for, and I say this with as much respect as I can, teaching is not for the weak. You've got to know that this is something that you want to do. And if your heart's not totally in it, it is going to be a very miserable time, because teaching is a lot more than teaching your content. At times we are therapists, we are counselors, we are second parents to these kids, second to their parents. We are with them the most in their life, at least K through 12. So I would definitely take any opportunity before you get into college that you can to shadow teachers, have real discussions with them, what it's like, about the challenges of the job, and also some of the rewards, because those are definitely worth it as well. But it is a lot more than coming into the room and saying, here is, I teach English, for example, saying, here is everything you need to know about writing an essay. There's so many more nuances to teaching that are not talked about that I think you really need to understand before you come into this profession and be ready to deal with those things. Great.
Alrighty, so now we're just going to move in and talk a little bit more about your time as a student at K-State. So what was your favorite part of college?
I think my favorite part of college actually was the challenges that it brought to me. I've previously, to go to K-State, I actually went to a community college very, very shortly. I had no idea what I was doing there, and I just randomly enrolled in classes. So of course it was not challenging because I didn't enroll classes that were actually going to challenge me. And when I went to K-State, my advisor had set them up for me. And these were classes that challenged me intellectually. They challenged my personal thinking, all of those different things. And I think that was my favorite part. I'm one of those nerds that becomes a teacher. And I enjoy being academically challenged. So that was my favorite part. And I also met a lot of great people that I now consider colleagues. So that was also really nice.
That's exciting. So were you a part of any clubs or organizations during your time, either at K-State, or I know you said you were also in community college too?
I was not at community college. My stint there was very brief. But at K-State, I was an ambassador for the Academic Achievement Center. So if you end up going to K-State, that is an awesome place to reach out for any academic help. They can set you up with some different things. So my job was to boost that program and go out to different, if you end up going to any of the different, I don't know if they're doing college fairs anymore, but they're usually at K-State's college fair boosting their program as one of the programs for freshmen. So you might hear from them virtually, and they will let you know about all their service. So that was my job. I also worked at K-State in the bakeries, which was working at the Derb is like a thing. If you go to K-State, or if you know people that go to K-State, I worked at the Derb, but I worked in a downstairs in the bakery. So I made all the baked goods and breads for K-State.
Ooh, sounds good. Last question I have for you. Is there something that you wish you would have known going into college?
I think the biggest thing I wish I would have known is 4 years is a generalization. It is not the requirement for everybody. Sometimes college takes 5 years, sometimes it takes 6 years. I know that everybody gets in their mind that when they graduate high school and you've got 4 years to figure out your career, your life, everything, and graduate, and you should be ready to go in those 4 years. And reality is that life happens, and sometimes that 4 years isn't so plausible for a number of reasons. So keep in mind that everybody's journey through college is different, and if it takes you 4 years, great. If it takes you 3 years, awesome. But sometimes it takes 5. And don't be afraid to fail in college. I've failed courses in college and I'm doing just fine. I'm sure there's other people that have failed classes in college, retook them, and they're doing just fine. It's not the end of the world, even though it feels like it. So just take each experience with a grain of salt, and you will get to where you need to when you're meant to.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. So is there anything else that you would like to share with our students before we end this time together?
So teaching, even though it is, I'm sure you're hearing all of the terrible things about teaching right now and all the struggles that we're facing with remote learning, and that it is not the easiest profession. It is one of the most rewarding professions that I could ever think of. These kids, especially through this remote learning, they are my why every day. Even on the days when I don't want to be there, I'm tired, there's that one kid that is just trying my ever last nerve. There's always those other ones that are in there working their butt off to get the work done and make it somewhere. And those, all of them, even that troublemaker, are the ones that make it worth it every day. So get excited for that.
Well, we thank you. We know that obviously in the midst of this pandemic, like educators and teachers like you are what's keeping us going and keeping us pushing. So, a thank you for me and our fellow advisors for all of the work that you do for students and for the KCK community. Thank you so much for taking time out of your, I'm assuming, very busy day to chat with me about the world of education and your profession as a teacher. Again, to students that are watching this, if you have questions, don't hesitate to shoot those to your advisor. And we'll happily send them to Ms. Delgado and get you that answer if you need it. So again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.